Morning, guys. I've got a bit of a cold today, a bit of flu. I never get a cold. I never catch a cold ever. So this is pretty unusual. I'm guessing that the kids have brought it home from school, which is not uncommon. Yeah. So I've just posted a very touching, beautiful video by Donna Presley. It's an exclusive. I'm so lucky. She allows me to post some of her videos. Obviously, Karen, her assistant, as well. It's really touching, really beautiful, concerning Elvis and Gladys. Go and watch it, guys. Only a few minutes long. I posted two of them. One on the short section, one on the wide section. Now, this video, I haven't watched it yet. Donna Presley exposes the shift at Graceland. Priscilla in, family out. So what we're going to do, I'd like to react to this live as well as on a video. So this is a video that I'm going to post where we can come together on comments. I just took some paracetamol, got myself a coffee, try and wake myself up. I don't feel ill. I just feel like I've got a cold. Yeah. So I still could go for a run and a walk and all that kind of stuff. Still got a bit of energy in me. I'm different. Yeah. You know, when you got a bit of man flu, is that what they call it? But I am looking forward to this. I did sort of scan through it last night before I went to bed. I didn't watch it properly, but the topic is very, very important. Obviously, we, the fans, we want the truth. We want the truth. That's the bottom line. I think what Donna's trying to do here is explain to us, I think, the rise of power of Priscilla, how she maneuvered herself to power. Yeah, it's a complex story, guys. A lot of it is quite unsettling. Yeah, concerning. And then there was this gradual thing where the true Presleys were phased out. Yeah. And there's many other points. This is a very, very good video. Yeah. So even I want to watch it properly with you guys, because I just scanned through it. I had it on fast play. I was really tired. I wanted to go to sleep. So of course I want to play our introduction, which is what I've been doing lately. And I'm gonna. So you're gonna have to put up with me sniveling. Let's see if we can find the introduction. Where is it? Oh, hang on a minute. Where are we? Your videos. I can never get this to work. No. Your videos. Here we go. Ba, 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 ba. Where are we? Where are we? Here we go. Let's get the intro in. Go. Hopefully you can hear it.
The Elvis Truth Files, defending Elvis.
Okay. Now let's go back to the screen. It just makes it dramatic, doesn't it? It's like do 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 do. Now I've got to find the actual video. Where are we? We will do this, guys. So it's just early in the morning in the UK, and the coffee's working. It's waking me up. I'll have a cup of tea after the coffee. Right, where are we? So we have to go to videos. Then we go. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Aha. Okay. I think that should do it, guys. Obviously, we're very professional here. We do everything to a very high standard. Here goes. We're going to stop and start. Obviously, we're reviewing it. So Let's go, guys.
Hello everyone, I'm Donna Presley and I'd like to welcome you to the Donna Presley official YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the shift at Graceland, Priscilla in, the family out.
Very, very important. Priscilla in, the family out. I just want to make sure that you guys can see what I can see. So yeah, don't forget this is a review, so don't tell me off for stopping and starting it. I know that we all love Donna and we just want to listen to the whole story, but YouTube won't let me do that. Okay, guys, let's go.
Many times I've been asked about this situation with Graceland and how it evolved to what it is today. I want to be delicate, never offensive, but I do want to share what I know. It is true that something had to be done to generate income. Uncle Vernon.
Okay, so that's an important point, because obviously I've brought up many times Priscilla didn't save Graceland. Priscilla didn't save Graceland. When I say that there's more to it. Yeah. Yes, behind the scenes, of course, there was a lot being dealt with, being many massive decisions being made. But before Priscilla came along, yes, she joined in. She jumped on the bandwagon. Yes, she was involved eventually. Okay, let's keep going.
Often spoke about opening the house to the fans. Even before that.
I just want you to hear that bit. That's important. I'm trying to show you guys that they were discussing the opening of the Living Museum, the house being open to the public, before Priscilla came along. And remember that there was thousands visiting the graves. Thousands, yeah? So they knew it was a sure thing. I mean, this might be slot later on, yeah? It depends. You've got to get the timeline. But eventually there was thousands visiting the grave, yeah? So what Donna's talking about now might be earlier, yeah? But I don't exactly know the timeline, but you get the point. They knew the amount of people visiting the grave. It was going to be a sure thing. The Living Museum, opening the house to the public, was a sure thing.
Share what I know. It is true that something had to be done to generate income. Uncle Vernon often spoke about opening the house to the fans. Even before that, Uncle Bester would sometimes let visitors through the gates and let them tour the front driveway.
So, clear proof. They were discussing it. It was definitely on the cards, yeah? It was definitely a possible future for Graceland, that it would be opened up as a living memorial to Elvis, to Gladys, etc.
And when Elvis passed away, Uncle Vernon felt it only right that people should be allowed into the mansion to pay their respects to Elvis. A precedent had been set, both by him and by Elvis, to let the fans in during important moments in his life. But unfortunately, everything changed very quickly. Uncle Vernon's health declined at an alarming pace. He struggled to breathe. He was weak. At the same time, the future of Graceland was unsettled. The Memphis Council had shown interest, but no one knew how Lisa's interest would be safeguarded.
So I just want to rewind that, because I'm getting a funny sound in my ear, like a hum. I hope you guys are not getting it. I want to go back, because that distracted me. I want to just, when she mentions Memphis, Memphis City, I want to just hear that again.
To let the fans in during important moments in his life. But unfortunately, everything changed very quickly. Uncle Vernon's health declined at an alarming pace. He struggled to breathe. He was weak, and yet he carried the weight of an enormous responsibility. At the same time, the future of Graceland was unsettled. The Memphis Council had shown interest, but no one knew how Lisa's interest would be safeguarded.
Yeah, so I'm starting to understand this a bit now, that, yes, the Memphis City it does seem that they had intentions that they were going to do this project. They were going to buy it. They wanted to sort of be in charge of it. So I can understand how the family were like, well, why are we going to sell it to you? We want ownership of it. I even can understand why once Priscilla got involved, she also felt that way, that we don't have to do this with Memphis City. Yeah. We can do this ourselves in-house using the managers, the banks, all the people that were involved. We've got Jack Sodden and Morgan Maxfield, the guy who died in a plane crash. Look him up, Morgan Maxfield, and many other people, guys. We don't know what went on behind the scenes. So I can see that Priscilla was in that process eventually. Yeah. Obviously Elvis, up until he passes, is bringing in loads of money. Yeah. He's always sell out, isn't he? Elvis's concerts were sell out all the way through to the day he died. Of course, once Elvis dies, there's a sudden drying up of income. There's still lots of income, but not as much. The running costs of everything, including Graceland's, are massive. So decisions had to be made, yeah?
The family felt uneasy, and nothing was settled yet. I remember one day at work when Uncle Vernon told me he was appointing Priscilla as a trustee. Elvis had not named her in the will, nor left her anything directly, so I was momentarily taken back.
So, I think we all know Elvis did not want Priscilla in that will. He felt that she'd had enough. I think Vernon did as well. But you'll never take away the fact that who was going to look out for Lisa's interest, Lisa Marie's interest. You're never going to change that. Priscilla, what is the mother? No one could have predicted the future. Yeah. So on all of the different things that Priscilla did. So it's a tough one, guys.
I asked him, do you think this is what Elvis would want? Would he be okay with that? And Uncle Vernon shook his head. No, I don't.
There we are, clear proof. Vernon didn't really want Priscilla to be added to the will, co-executor, whatever you want to call it. I think he almost had no choice. It was like he was between a rock and a hard place. Ultimately, she was the mum of Lisa. Lisa was the most important thing to Elvis. Elvis wanted everything to go to Lisa. She was still a child. So what do you do?
But we have to think of Lisa. Priscilla would be expected to protect her daughter's interest. From there, events unfolded in ways that no one could have predicted.
Yeah, and I want to add to that. We have strong feelings, strong views, strong opinions about Priscilla's treatment of Lisa Marie, but not just Lisa Marie, of everything. So eventually, EPE, it gets sold off. Now, people try to blame Lisa, but I tell you now, guys, I believe, just my opinion for entertainment purposes, we're not a factual show or just a discussion YouTube channel, that Priscilla massively influenced Lisa in the sale of Elvis Presley Enterprises, even renting Graceland's to Elvis Presley Enterprises. Yes, it was 85%, 15% is retained by the family. But honestly, I really believe that Priscilla had a big part in that sale going through. I'm horrified that it happened at 85%. That's just unheard of. It should have been at best 51% in favor of Lisa and renting Graceland's. And the rent was paid in advance. I think it was a 90-year lease, something like that. I know that, of course, Lisa still owned Graceland's, but I just can't believe this whole deal went through. We've also heard that Priscilla got very big backhanders. It's confusing. Some say $6.5 million. Some say $13 million. But, the name Graceland was sold. The name Presley was sold. This was a massive deal to the billionaire Robert Silliman. I don't think it ever should have happened. I believe everything should have always been kept in-house. Yeah. I think I don't know if Lisa truly understood the seriousness of what happened here. Maybe years later she regretted it. I don't know. I've heard Lisa Marie in interviews discussing this deal and why they made the decision to go ahead with it. Who knows what was said to her, guys? Who knows? Yeah, let's keep going.
Priscilla stepped in as trustee, and over time she asked advice of businessmen, and eventually EPE was formed. To be perfectly honest, Priscilla took over through circumstance rather than design. It was not Elvis's plan, and it was not what Uncle Vernon would have chosen had he.
Two massive important points. It was not Elvis's plan. Vernon didn't, it wasn't what Vernon wanted. Yeah, these are massive. These are like everything to me. As she says, I'll play that bit again. Circumstance.
Priscilla stepped in as trustee, and over time she asked advice of businessmen, and eventually EPE was formed. To be perfectly honest, Priscilla took over through circumstance rather than design. It was not Elvis's plan, and it was not what Uncle Vernon would have chosen had he been strong and well. But his health was failing, and decisions had to be made quickly.
So, obviously, there's a lot of strong views here. Yeah, of course, Priscilla would have been discussing many things with Vernon. It's obvious. Yeah, I do believe Priscilla had intentions concerning all of this. Yeah, especially when she was not on the will. I think she's just said trustee. Yeah. Now it's very clear now what Donna is going to say is that Vernon was very strong-minded, stood his ground. Yeah, knew what he wanted. A very smart man, very careful with finances. Probably the most trusted person in Elvis's life concerning business, money, yeah, handling his finances. But I am, me as a fan, Louis, I am concerned about the conversations that went on between Priscilla and Vernon. But I also understand exactly what Donna's going to now go on to say, that Vernon was steadfast. She was there. She knows what happened. Let's keep listening.
What began as an effort to secure Lisa's future slowly shifted into something very, very different. The intent in those early days was to preserve Graceland for Lisa and to honor Elvis's memory. The outcome was a business operation of a scale that none of us could even possibly imagined. And along the way, the Blood family, those of us who had grown up with him, supported him, prayed with him, lived with him, loved him, and been loved by him, we were gradually moved aside. It didn't happen in...
I want to play that again, guys. This is so important, right? Because sorry I keep doing this, but it's so important that we analyze what Donna is saying. Yeah. Remember, this is very uncomfortable for Donna. Yeah, I have long discussions with Donna and Karen. Yeah, we've gone into this. They do feel they were squeezed out. They also can't believe, in my opinion, based on chatting, yeah, they can't believe that this woman literally almost came, how can I say it, swooping down, and then had so much power and made so many changes. Bearing in mind, they're the Presleys. They have lived the life. They have been there since the 50s, well, forever, the Presleys, but where we get involved, since the 50s through the 60s and 70s, even living there in the 80s, yeah, early 80s. So this ex-wife, yes, she's the mother of Lisa, but she's still an ex-wife, never a widow. Now, they're the Presleys, they're family, yeah? They care most about the Presleys, about of course, Graceland, the meditation garden, things like that, yeah. And then this woman, Priscilla Presley, because she's been added to the will, co-trustee, co-executive, I get confused the right words to use, can make these massive life-changing decisions that also affect the Presleys, even where they live. I think Donna feels that they were squeezed out. I feel that Donna feels, this is just my opinion, that when Priscilla was fully involved, she was pretty cruel, pretty cold, almost trying to erase the Presleys. Suddenly, Priscilla was what mattered. Priscilla and her fake romance with Elvis, her broken romance where she had been unfaithful many times. Priscilla was acting like she was still Elvis's wife. Priscilla was acting like she was fully in charge of everything. The public seemed to fall for it. You go and look at the video of Priscilla Presley launching Graceland. Almighty power. And I think that in the last 40 years, the Presleys have felt squeezed out and dominated by this woman's decisions. Obviously, other people were making these decisions as well. I do think the public were fooled. I think the public were conned and tricked into thinking Priscilla was this poor victim, that the only reason Elvis is remembered is because of her. It's ridiculous. It's bullshit. It's not true. The only reason Graceland was saved was because of her. The only reason the Living Museum existed and was so successful was because of her. It's all bullshit. Because of Priscilla Presley, it's all bullshit. The fans saved Elvis. Elvis's talent is the reason that he's still remembered, and his personality and his charisma and his charm is the reason he's remembered. His beautiful Christian beliefs. That's why Elvis is remembered. Elvis himself and the fans. That is why. It has nothing to do with the building. It has nothing to do with Priscilla. If Priscilla didn't exist, if the Graceland building didn't exist, Elvis would still be remembered in 2025. He is why we remember him. Elvis. And you can add to that Lisa as well. Lisa Marie is adored and loved. And of course, the loyalty of the fans who have been transformed, who truly love Elvis. I think it was in, I just want to say quickly, obviously Donna has sent me her book. It's a beautiful book, One Flowers While I Live. And at the beginning of it, George Klein says something. This is why Elvis is remembered in 2025. Elvis once recorded a gospel song called He Touched Me. The truth of those words was not just in the music, but in the man himself. If you ever had the privilege of being touched by Elvis, by his kindness, his laughter, or simply his presence, you were never the same again. That was the gift he carried with him everywhere he went. That is why the Living Museum, Graceland, is so successful today in 2025. That is why Elvis is remembered today in 2025. If you ever had the privilege of being touched by Elvis, his kindness, his laughter, or simply his presence, you were never the same again. You were never the same again. That is us, the fans. That was a gift he carried with him everywhere he went. He just had that ability. That is why we're sat here now, guys. That is why I defend Elvis. Because once we have that connection with Elvis, we discover him, we're transformed forever till the day we die. No matter how many years have passed, I'm 58. I discovered Elvis when I was 4. 54 years later, nothing's changed. I'm still transformed by feeling Elvis's essence, his spirit, his connection. Get it? Not just his voice, not just the great movies that I loved watching him in when I was a child growing up. There's much more to it. There's something very magical about the effect Elvis has on me and worldwide fans, and his own family, of course.
Into something very, very different. The intent in those early days was to preserve Graceland for Lisa and to honor Elvis's memory. The outcome was a business operation of a scale that none of us could even possibly imagined. And along the way, the Blood family, those of us who had grown up with him, supported him, prayed with him, lived with him, loved him, and been loved by him, we were gradually moved aside.
Again, I'm going to have to play. We are going to have to do this in 2 parts, guys, because this is very important to me that we get this right. So listen to what she just said, and then we're going to comment on it, okay? The Blood family were pushed aside. The family that were there for him through all the good and the bad times, through Elvis's health problems, his struggles. Let's listen to that again.
The intent in those early days was to preserve Graceland for Lisa and to honor Elvis's memory. The outcome was a business operation of a scale that none of us could even possibly imagined. And along the way, the Blood family, those of us who had grown up with him, supported him, prayed with him, lived with him, loved him, and been loved by him, we were gradually moved aside.
Shocking. Shocking, guys. Yeah. Could you imagine how they feel? They're the Presleys. They've spent decades living there, being his family, being close with not just Elvis, all of the Presleys, all of them. And not just at Graceland. They lived, there was different times, different decades. Shocking. Could you imagine how they felt? They felt unimportant, unwanted. Almost they felt like they're in the way. Rubbed out. Because of Priscilla's involvement. Once Priscilla joins in and gets that power, she could make massive decisions that's massively affected the Presleys, who are the real family, the true family. Priscilla isn't blood. She wasn't married. They were divorced. Yes, she had 1 child. They had a terrible marriage, a very short marriage. Don't be conned and tricked by the things that Priscilla tries to give the impression they had this beautiful romance. It was a long drawn out marriage. It wasn't. She was massively unfaithful, as you know. She was out for blood. She was out for money. Money. It's always money. And Lisa was a tool to get that money. Lisa was leverage to get that money. And once she was given the power, the Presley family felt squeezed out and unwanted.
It didn't happen in a moment, but little by little, one by one, we were pushed away.
It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Heartbreaking. You imagine how they all feel. Obviously, many of them are not with us now, but come on, guys. This is the truth. This is why we call it the Truth Files. The Truth Files. We want to know the truth, what really happened behind closed doors. We want to know how the Presleys felt through these decades as it was all unfolding.
We were excluded on everything. That's perhaps the saddest part for me. Even today, at special times set aside to remember Elvis, anniversary of his birth, of his passing, or other occasions that were meant to be celebrating his legacy, the family were never invited.
Terrible. Could you imagine that? All these special occasions and the family, the Presleys, never invited. Unbelievable. Shocking. Shocking. How did this happen? Why was this allowed to happen? And it was called by an ex-wife who had betrayed Elvis, who was multiply unfaithful to him, who had ripped him off massively in divorce settlements, who had trashed his name in public, damaged his image and reputation. And the biggest victims were Elvis, even Lisa, were the Presleys. and there was nothing Elvis could do about it. Could you imagine how Elvis feels about all this? The way his own family, his blood relatives, were treated for decades at the hands of Priscilla Presley. Shocking. Honestly, guys, unbelievable. Shocking. I'm so glad Donna Presley is speaking up.
Instead, those moments are shared with friends or co-workers or ex-girlfriends or love interest, but not with the very family that stood beside him.
I'm going to have to play that bit again. It's too important. She's got a point, guys. Where are the Presleys in the candlelight vigils and the birthday celebrations, the Christmas celebrations, just all of the celebrations? Where are the Presleys? I'm not talking about 2025. I'm talking about the last 50 years, more or less. Get it? 40 odd years. Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Now, Donna, she still goes. She proudly goes. She will go to the vigils. She'll go to the birthday celebrations. But she's treated like a stranger. Treated like a stranger. Never invited. She's Elvis's first cousin. Elvis's first cousin. Not welcome. Shocking. Come on, Jill Weisshanker, if you ever watch this, that can't be right. Donna should be one of the most important people to be invited to Graceland for these special occasions. Even Riley Q. Come on. It's Elvis's first cousin. It's Vernon's sister's daughter. She deserves better. It's not right. We need to finally do the right thing by these people. She's 75 years old. She deserves better. She's always been true and loyal to Elvis, always spoke well of him, never trashed him, never done trash books. Always praises Elvis and speaks beautifully about her cousin and her family members, Minnie Mae, Aunt Delta, Uncle Vernon, Uncle Vesta. Get it? This woman, poor Donna Presley, has never been treated with the respect she deserves. She is a good-hearted, kind, lovely person. Inside and out, still very beautiful. She's still got a lot to say. She's going to defend her family, the Presleys, and her cousin Elvis. She proudly does it no matter what the consequences are. She will sit there looking stunning. Look how beautiful she looks, how well she is turned out. She's really put a lot of time into this. She looks fantastic. I call her the Queen of Graceland. I call her the Queen of Graceland. Look at her. A true Presley with Presley blood in her veins.
His legacy. The family were never invited. Instead, those moments are shared with friends or co-workers or ex-girlfriends or love interest, but not with the very family that stood beside him and was beside him through his entire life. The exclusion is extremely painful. And
do you hear that? The exclusion is extremely painful. Now, I've got nothing against the ex-girlfriends. I'm a massive fan of Ginger Alden. I think Linda Thompson is great. I don't think she's having a dig here. I think she's saying it should be family, blood relative. Stood there celebrating these events, not businessmen. You get it? A lot of the time, it's businessmen celebrating Elvis's birthdays or Christmas or candlelight vigils. Businessmen, Elvis Presley Enterprises. Makes no sense. It should be family. We all want family there. I know that the fans would love it if Riley, Finley and Harper were at these events. Yeah? So I'd love to see Donna Presley in her rightful place, fronting Elvis's life as a family member, as a cousin, a first cousin. I'd love it. That's what should be happening. people are being treated like family when they're not family. Jerry Schilling is not family. No offense to Jerry Schilling. Joe Weishanker is not family. No offense to Joe Weishanker. But come on. Isn't it family that counts the most? The blood relatives of Elvis Presley? What would Vernon want? What would Gladys want? What would Minnie May want? What would Aunt Delta want? Aunt Nash, Donna's mum. And there's others. There's other relatives, isn't there? On the Smith side as well. These are the true Presleys. These are the true people that have the blood in their veins. That Elvis, we know Elvis wanted family around him. Elvis kept family close. He always looked after family in every way. Family were very important to Elvis. Unfortunately, some of them have betrayed him. Some close friends have betrayed him, which is just shocking because he was so good to these people. But that's for another topic. So I'm going to get halfway on this. You've got another minute and we're going to come back and do a part 2. But I am so proud that Donna speaks up like this. This is exactly what Elvis and his legacy deserve. Yeah, Elvis really does deserve better. Yeah, the world needs to know this. I really hope that as many people as possible see Donna Presley's videos on her beautiful YouTube channel, Donna Presley Official. Please subscribe to it, guys. Very important. This is historical type videos. This is history in the making. This is setting wrongs to rights. This is telling the world the truth and what should have happened. This is Donna Presley letting the world know just how badly the Presleys were treated. The Presleys that she grew up with, that she loves, that she's proud of, that Elvis was proud of. Elvis loved his family. He loved being in Memphis. He loved Graceland. He loved being a Presley.
It's very hard, a very hard time. The exclusion is painful because of the love for Elvis. Our love for Elvis was not temporary or...
So the exclusion was painful. They literally went through hell for the last 40 years, where as Priscilla took over everything, made all the big decisions. The biggest victims were the Presleys.
Conditional. It was rooted in blood and in faith, and it'll never fade with time. Because of the love for Elvis. Our love for Elvis was not temporary or conditional. It was rooted in blood and in faith, and it'll never fade with time.
I've had many conversations, guys. There is true, deep, meaningful love that Donna Presley has, not just for Elvis, her first cousin, but for the Presleys. And the pride is overspilling with pride for the life they lived, even before Elvis became famous.
I say this not in bitterness at all, but in truth. The Graceland of today is the result of many turns in the road, shaped by illness and circumstance. It is not what Elvis set out in his will, nor is it what Uncle Vernon imagined when he first opened the gates for the fans. And so
Well said. I want to play that bit, and then we're going to come back for part 2. Okay, guys? This is important what she just says here. Not what Elvis and Vernon planned.
The Graceland of today is the result of many turns in the road, shaped by illness and circumstance. It is not what Elvis set out in his will, nor is it what Uncle Vernon imagined when he first opened the gates for the fans.
It was not set out in his will. It's not what Uncle Vernon imagined for his fans. This is beautiful. I've only played 5 minutes of this. There's another 6 minutes. I want to come back and do part 2, guys. There's a massive miscarriage of justice here. I know that that's quite extreme words to use, guys, but there really is. The Presleys have been very, very badly treated. They have almost been treated like outcasts. They've been treated in some ways like criminals. And they did nothing wrong. They just didn't fit in to Priscilla Presley's vision of Graceland, of the future, of the living museum, of how to make money at Graceland. This memorial to Elvis's home, Gladys and Vernon's home, Graceland. Shocking. I think almost every decision was based on financial gain. No regard for the Presleys. Not truly. No regard for the Presleys. Not in the right way. And after many discussions, the Presleys were very unhappy with what was happening. Some would call her a cold fish. Some called Priscilla a cold fish. Remember, these Presleys knew Priscilla when she first moved to Graceland, yeah? And we've been given the impression that the Presleys embraced Priscilla Presley and loved her. It's not true. It's not true. There's much more to the story. This ex-wife who divorced Elvis 4 years before he died, who was multiply unfaithful and ripped him off in divorce settlements. Elvis was only good to Priscilla Presley, very, very good to her. Elvis is blamed for everything when Priscilla also made some serious mistakes. Yes, they both made mistakes. I understand that. I won't put Elvis on a pedestal. They both made mistakes. But she clearly, even in her new book, Priscilla says, we weren't ready to have a child. They were not right to get married. They should not have got married. Priscilla even admits at one point she wanted to lose the baby and felt guilty for thinking that way. There are many lies in this book. The truth is being distorted in this book. Please be careful with this book. Read between the lines, think outside the box. Don't trust the book. Any of you that have been brainwashed by this fake fairy tale, be careful. This 1985 book, Elvis and Me, be careful. You're being tricked and conned. Many of the things in both these books are not correct, are not true, are designed to make Priscilla look good and Elvis look bad. Okay, guys, I'm going to come back for part 2. Thank you so much to Donna, who allows me to do reviews on her beautiful videos. We're going to do part 2, guys. There's more to come. We've got a lot to get on with today. So I'm feeling better, actually. I woke up with a bit of man flu, but I actually feel okay now. So, and thanks to Karen as well. Special thank you to Karen. Karen is a very, very close friend of Donna Presley's and is her manager and handles everything. So, of course, guys, you must get this book, and we are going to start reviewing this book one chapter at a time. One Flower While I Live. And it's a very simple book, a lovely book, a beautiful book written by Donna Presley's mum. It's a reissue, so it's been updated. And there's a beautiful story that Elvis is sat with Aunt Nash, Donna's mum, and he's devastated at the loss of his mum, Gladys. And there's millions of flowers everywhere for Gladys. And Elvis says he would give up all the flowers in the world. Let me read how he puts it, guys. My mother once confided in me a memory she carried close to her heart. So Donna is talking about her mother Nash, Vernon's sister. At the funeral of his beloved mother, Gladys, Elvis sat beside Nash, overcome with grief, surrounded by flowers and sent in sympathy. Obviously, everyone loved Gladys. She died far too young. 46 was far too young. She was very sick. But it gives you an indication of why Elvis became so unwell eventually in his life. When he got near to his 40s, he became very sick, which is why he needed so much prescription medication, and a very serious insomnia. Yeah, the worst case of insomnia you could ever have. Yeah. So it explains to the world why he needed so much medication, guys. So he told her he would gladly return to driving a truck if he could only bring back his mother. He told her he would gladly return to driving a truck if he could only bring back his mother. The tears in his eyes, he said he would rather be given one flower while he was alive than a million after he was gone. I'll read that again. Then, with tears in his eyes, he said he would rather be given one flower while he was alive than a million after he was gone. It was in that moment of sorrow and honesty spoken to Aunt that he loved and trusted that the title of this book was born. One Flower While I Live. Elvis as I Remember Him, by Nash, Lauren Presley and Donna Presley. Beautiful. So obviously this is an updated, and I think the way that you can order it is I think you order it by sending an email to Donna Presley. I think it's donnapresleybooks@gmail.com, all small letters. Donna Presley books@gmail.com. It's a beautiful book, and we are going to be going through it. Okay, guys, I'll be back for part 2. I hope you enjoy this. I think there was a slight hum when Donna speaks. I'm hoping it won't be too bad. I'll double check it, but I'm going to upload it now live on comments. There's more to come today, guys. I'm probably going to go for a walk, get some fresh air, get rid of this flu. I've got a bit of flu in me. Have a shower, try and freshen up, and then there's quite a few topics to go through today. There's a few things concerning Donna Presley, Elvis's first cousin, that I need to go through as well. And thank you so much to Donna and Karen. Okay, I send you love. Thanks, guys.